Hi, my name is Oleg. So you got your Realme GT2 Pro, and it's a Chinese version, which is RMX3300. So it's a still good phone, and it's pretty usable, especially if you install some Google services on it and Google Play Store. But there's still a lot of Chinese bloatware that you're probably never going to use, like Wallet that is completely in Chinese, even though you switch your language to English, or there is a Breeno voice assistant that you're probably never going to use, and the search engine for the Breeno Assistant is also in Chinese and not usable if you don't speak Chinese. And then there is Hey Tap Cloud that you're probably never going to use. You're looking into switching this to the Global ROM, which is RMX3301. So I was researching how I can flash this phone to the global version, and there's not that many articles online. So I found a couple of forums on the XDA developers, and these are the ones that we're gonna follow to flash our phone to the global ROM from the Chinese ROM. Of course, it would be easier if you were to use like MSM tool or a flash tool from Realme, but it's almost impossible to find, and there are some links that honestly look pretty sketchy, and I don't even feel like downloading it. So this is another method that we're gonna use, and for that we're gonna need the laptop or any other computer. We're gonna need the phone itself and the cable. I recommend just using the same cable that it came with because it's gonna be a good cable and we need a good connection. So a quick disclaimer before we start, we're gonna have to wipe all the data from the phone when we're gonna do the flashing. So please make sure to back up your phone if you already have valuable information on it. And also, the process is not simple, so it might get bricked, so do it at your own risk. And if you're willing to take it, then go ahead, and that's what I'm going to do because I want to change it to global ROM. So let's just go ahead and start, and I'm going to show you what you're going to need to do the flashing. All right, so these are the two forums on xdadevelopers.com, and we're gonna have to first unlock the bootloader because this phone has the bootloader locked, as most of them, and in order for us to flash we have to unlock it. So there are two posts, and the posts are made by MyOGUI. I hope I pronounced that correct, but yeah, these are the two posts that I hear. The first one is about unlocking your bootloader, and the second one is about installing the RMX3300 global stock firmware from Chinese, right? So we're gonna go ahead with the first one, and it's a pretty straightforward process that is described here, but I just wanted to help you out a little bit because you need to have some stuff installed before you can do that. And the first thing that you're going to need to do is you need to download SDK platform tools, which is developer.android.com. So just go to android.com developers website and download the SDK platform tools, or if you use Android Studio, you can do it from the Android Studio as well. So if you go to developer.android.com, you can download SDK platform tools either for Windows, Mac, or Linux. And I suggest you download the latest version, which is 33.0.1 from March 2022. You can download it like that, or if you know how to use Android Studio, you have Android Studio, which I'm going to use, you can just open your Android Studio, go to Tools, and go to your SDK Manager, go to SDK Tools, and make sure that you have the latest SDK platform tools installed. As you can see, I have 33.0.1. If there is an update, just make sure you update it. And you can also install the Google USB driver, even though we're gonna need the one from the website a little bit later as well. So in order for you to install the Google USB driver, you're gonna need to download it, and then we're gonna go manually into the device manager and we're gonna install it. And it's a little bit complicated, and it took me a while to figure out how it works. So I'm just gonna show you right now. So we're gonna go to developer.android.com/studio/run/win-usb, and you can get this Google USB driver you're just going to click here to download the driver, and you're going to get the driver and just unzip it. All right, and I'm going to leave the links down in the description for that. So if we're going to follow the post, the first thing that we need to do is to install deep testing APK attached to this post. And I'm going to leave the links to this to posts on XDA developers as well. So you can check down in the description. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to download this attachment for deep testing RMX3300.apk. And I've already done that. So you can just go ahead and do that. Click on the Apply Now button in order to get approval for bootloader unlock. So in order for you to do that, let me show you. When you start, it's going to say Apply Now, right where the request to exit deep testing button is. You're going to have Apply Now button. And once you click on that, it's going to go through the application process, and then you can check the query approval status. I don't know if you can see it at the top right corner. And for me, it took like almost instantly. It was like a minute, but for you, it might take 22 minutes to an hour. That's what it says here on the post. So please be patient and just click on the query approval status again on the top right corner. And once you do that, when you're approved, you're going to see that your application is approved. And just above the back button, there is Start Deep Testing button, and that's the one that you're going to need. That is going to take you to the Fastboot, and from Fastboot, we can unlock the bootloader. In order for us to do that, you're going to have to run this command. But in order for you to run this command, you have to have the USB driver for Fastboot. And remember, once you install the SDK platform tools, you're going to be able to run ADB commands, but you won't be able to run Fastboot commands yet. And that's where we need to update the driver manually in the device manager, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But before that, if you downloaded the platform tools, later on we're going to need to run the Fastboot commands again to flash the global ROM from the folder that we download the images. So we're going to go ahead and download the images later on for our new ROM, and we're going to flash those images through the Fastboot commands as well. So we're going to need to have the access to the Flashboot command. I'm sorry, to the Fastboot command from anywhere within on our computer. So in order for you to do that, you're going to need, once you download this platform tools for Windows, you're going to have to add this SDK folder to your environmental variables so you can access those commands from anywhere within your computer. So in order for you to do that, if you're on Windows 10 or Windows 11, you're going to have to go to the settings, and then you're going to click About, and you're going to click Advanced System Settings. And over here, you're going to click Environmental Variables, and you're going to have to add the variable for your SDK. So you can just copy the path to your SDK location, that folder that you downloaded, or if you have Android Studio already, that folder is going to be there already. You're just going to have to add, create a new one and add this Android Home to your environmental variables. If you don't know how to do it, you can Google it. There's plenty of tutorials that explain how to do that. And after that, you'll be able to run ADB and Fastboot commands from anywhere in the system. If I just start my command prompt, and let me connect my phone, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So once you connect your phone, in order for you to do what we have to do, you're going to need to select Transfer Files /Android Auto. Otherwise, it won't work. So once you connect, please make sure to always select that. And as you can see, it identified my phone already. So, and now if I run ADB devices, you can see that I have this device attached. But if I run Fastboot devices, you can see that there is nothing. And that's because, first of all, we need to be in the Fastboot mode, and the second, we need to have the driver installed. And that's what we're going to do. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to install the driver, because once I hit that run start deep testing button, once I hit that start deep testing button, I don't know if you can see, it's going to take me to the Fastboot mode, and I'm going to need to be able to unlock the bootloader. And in order for me to do that, I have to have USB driver, otherwise it won't run that command. So let's go ahead and install the driver first. So once you downloaded the driver from here, extract it somewhere, and you're good to go. After that, what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to click the Start Deep Testing button, this button right here. So I'm gonna click Start Deep Testing. I'm just gonna load into Fastboot. So you're in Fastboot mode right now, as you can see. And now I'm gonna do right click on my start button, and then I'm gonna click on Device Manager. And as you can see, we have Android here under other devices. So if you have Android like that, it means that the Fastboot driver is not installed. I mean, USB driver for Fastboot is not installed, and you need to install your Fastboot driver. So in order for you to install the driver for the Fastboot mode, what you need to do is you're gonna need to click on the Android, you're gonna click Action, and you're gonna click Update Driver. And from here, you're going to say browse my computer for drivers. And then you're going to click let me pick from a list of available drivers on my computer. And then you're going to select Android device. And you're going to click next. And you're going to click have disk. And from here, you're going to browse and find the folder where you downloaded your Google USB driver. So in my case, this is USB driver R13 Windows USB driver. And what you need to do here, you need to find the file named Android underscore winusb.inf. So you're going to click on that, and you're going to click open. And you're going to click OK. And for the model, we're going to select Android bootloader interface. We're going to click next. You're going to see the message, and you're going to click yes. Windows has successfully updated your drivers. So you're going to click close. And now, as you can see, we have Android device, Android bootloader interface. So now if I go to my command prompt, and I'm going to do Fastboot devices, as you can see, I have my device under Fastboot selected. So now what I can do is I'm going to go back to the post, and I'm going to run this command, which is fastboot flash and unlock. This will unlock the bootloader for us to be able to flash our firmware. And as you can see, finished. And we got a message on our phone that says you will be able to install a custom operating system on this phone. Custom OS is not subject to the same level of testing as the original OS and can cause your phone and installed applications to stop working properly. Your integrity cannot be guaranteed. So basically, we're gonna unlock the bootloader, and when we install the global ROM, we won't be able to lock it back because apparently that breaks the devices at the moment. So we're just gonna unlock it, but we won't be able to lock it back. So you can choose do not unlock the bootloader, or you can unlock the bootloader. So since I want to install the custom firmware or global firmware, I'm going to do the unlock the bootloader, and I'm going to hit the power button to select it. As you can see, there are some messages that I'm not able to understand. And the device is going to restart. And it resets the device, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through the process of accepting all of this again. Agree. You can skip for now. Okay, so I had the HeyTap account, so I'm gonna have to unlock it, so just give me a moment. So eventually it did ask me to connect to Wi-Fi, so just go ahead and do that. And let's see if it will unlock it now. Yes, it will unlock. Tap cloud, I guess you can skip that. I'm gonna do fingerprint next. Or actually, let's skip that. You don't have that. You don't need to do that. And then next, skip. Navigation buttons, next. More. And welcome, Realme UI. Get started. And we're back to stock. So we're done unlocking the bootloader, and now we're gonna go ahead to the next post. And as you can see, there's the warning here that you do it at your own risk, and it did not work for some. So do not relock your bootloader once your global ROM is installed. So we're not gonna relock the bootloader because it can break your device. So let's follow the steps in this post. So we unlocked the bootloader already. Now we need to download the images provided in these two links. So you can either go through Mega and download all these images, or you can go through Google Drive. And I'm gonna leave the links down in the description as well. First, we need to boot the device in the recovery mode. So we're gonna hold volume up and power until reboot. So let's do that. So holding volume up and the power button does not load the recovery mode for me for whatever reason. But what you can do, you can instead turn it off. Let's say turn it off. And we're gonna load into the Fastboot mode or bootloader mode. So we're gonna hold volume down and power button. And as you can see, we're in Fastboot mode. So from here, we can navigate with the volume up and down, and when we see the recovery mode, we can click the power button again, and it's going to load into the recovery mode. So we're going to select language, English in my case, and we're going to select wipe data. It's asking us to enter verification code, so we're going to enter that, and we're going to select format data, and all user data will be reset. You will need to enter the Google account information, email address, and password again. So we're going to click format, and it's going to wipe down all the data. So data formatted, click OK. The device is going to take a while to reset again. And after that, we're going to turn it off, and we're going to load it into the bootloader mode. And as you can see, device restarted again. So I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to load it into the Fastboot mode. So I'm going to hold the volume down key, and I'm going to turn it on. And we are in the Fastboot mode again. And as you can see, device state now states that it's unlocked because we unlocked the bootloader earlier. So now what we need to do is we need to connect your device to PC if not already connected, and make sure that we have Fastboot installed. So we already installed the driver, so we can check again if that works. So if we go ahead and do Fastboot devices, and we can see that the device is connected. So make sure you check that before you run all these commands. And now we need to navigate to the folder where you have all these images. So in my case, I have it on the desktop, but wherever you put it, you're just going to use that one. I am in that folder now. And now we can run the flash commands. So there are two images. So there is boot.img and boot_, I guess you say magisk.img. So this one is rooted and this one is not. So it's up to you what you want to do with your device. I'm not going to use it rooted because some apps might not work, and I am not planning to do anything with it. But if you were planning to do something with it, that you might need the rooted one. So you're gonna run this command, but since I'm not planning to do anything with it, I'm just gonna run this command. So we're gonna copy that, and we're gonna paste the command, and we're gonna run it. So finished. And after that, you're gonna run all of these commands over here, and then these two. So one by one. So let's go ahead. Finished. Now I'm gonna run super.img. And as you can see, I got the invalid sparse file format at header magic. And it says when flashing, if you get the message invalid sparse file format at header magic, this is fine. You're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer. And finished. This is probably going to be the longest one. So next one, we're going to do the VB meta. Yeah, as you can see, there's nothing going on the phone right now as I'm running this Fastboot flash commands, and you won't see anything. And now you should be able to boot into the system. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click start. And it looks like it's looping into boot. So that's not good. So I ran the commands again, and let's see what happens now if I click start. Or actually, let me do power off. And let's see if it starts. As you can see now, it actually loads the Realme screen. So I think it's preparing the device for the setup. So let's see what happens. And as you can see, it actually loaded and we see the message is already in English. So let's go ahead and do that. Yep, this looks completely different. So I guess we successfully installed the global firmware for the Realme GT2 Pro. So you can just go ahead and continue setting up your phone and let me do that. But before I do that, so as you can see, when I ran these commands at first, I was stuck in the boot loop, and then I had to go back into the Fastboot mode. So I was holding the volume down key, and it automatically loaded into the Fastboot mode because it was booting already. But if it doesn't work, you can also hold the power button as well to get back into the Fastboot mode, and then run the same commands again. And this time it worked. So don't get discouraged after the first try. So I'm gonna accept the non-optional items, and then I can connect to my Wi-Fi, but I'll do it later unless it's gonna ask me again. As you can see now, when we set up the phone, we have Google services on the setup. And welcome, Realme UI. Let's click get started. Yeah, and as you can see, we already have Google Play Store, Google Assistant, and we have default Google phone app and default Google SMS app. And if I swipe left, there's going to be a Google feed once I sign in. Sure. We got, looks like Google Search. And if I go to my settings, have regular sign in. And as you can see, we got Google settings directly in the settings. There's no Hey Tap Cloud anymore. There is no the Chinese Assistant. And if we go to about the phone, we can see that the model is RMX3301, meaning this is the global version. And apparently you can use Google Pay, you can get over-the-air updates, and everything is supposed to work. But as I've already mentioned earlier, the white wine was a level 3, even on the Chinese variant, so that still gonna be level 3 probably, but I'm gonna test it out later. All right guys, and that was it for this video, and I hope this was helpful. And as you can see, it took me 2 tries to actually get it flashed. So if you're stuck in the boot loop, just load it again into the Fastboot Mode and try to run in the same flash commands again. And now we can use all of the Google services. We can use Google Assistant, as well as Google Search and Google Feed. That was it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this was helpful. If it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up to help YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more stuff like that, I do tech stuff on this channel. Please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.